Hello and welcome into a new edition of BVM Sports Chalk Talk. I'm Mike Cianciolo, joined alongside Matt Morris and Scott Procter. We are coming to you from Brookfield, Wisconsin, and it is October. Playoff baseball is here, and so we've got to talk about the Brew Crew today. And the Milwaukee Brewers were one of the hottest baseball teams in the regular season until the end of the season, in which they lost 10 of their final 14 games. But they did manage to win the NL Central for the third time since 2011, and it is their fourth straight postseason appearance. But news of note heading into the NLDS, which will take place Friday against the Atlanta Braves at American Family Field, is that reigning NL reliever of the year, Devin Williams, is out with a broken hand, will not play the postseason, potentially if they were to reach the World Series. So that begs the question, guys. Do the Brewers truly have the World Series aspirations that they knew they had in the second half of the season and before this kind of tailspin at the end of the regular season, or will they struggle against the Atlanta Braves?
No, I mean, I think that if it was 2018 and this was the Milwaukee Brewers team that kind of made their mark and was known for having a great bullpen and having starters only go into the fifth inning and then really allowing Hader, Jeffers, Knable, guys like that to take over, then I might be worried. But this season in particular, the Brewers have been known for their starting pitching. I mean, you're looking at possible Cy Young winner in Corbin Burns. Brandon Woodruff is a bona fide ace as well. Freddie Peralta, you even have Hauser, who's been pitching great. These are guys that can go 7 innings, and then all you need is Suter or Strickland or Boxberger or possibly Cousins if he's able to come back and be a part of this NLDS roster. They can take over and give you an inning so that you allow then Hader to come in the 9th or the 8th and just take over like he always does. So I'm not worried about their pitching. If anything, it's going to be about the hitting. Their defense is great, but the Braves come in as one of the best home run hitting teams in the league. So it really will be a battle of the pitching versus the hitting and see who is going to come out in what is normally a new season as far as October comes.
Yeah, I really wanted to pick the Atlanta Braves here, partly because I feel like Milwaukee fans have already had too much fun already this year, but I don't think I can do that. And, you mentioned it out the gate. I mean, the Brewers, they're third in the league in ERA. They're third in quality starts. You already mentioned it. You think Burns is an NL Cy Young. Woodruff is great. The Brewers have 5 starting pitchers with at least 7 quality starts this season, which is crazy. The Braves only have 3 such guys, and their ace, even Charlie Morton, is 37 years old. And this is something that their manager, Brian Snitker, has mentioned several times this season, just talking about not wanting to push him and, push him late into games. So
exactly.
I believe, the Brewers pitching staff is the superior one. And, I think they have enough bats with Yelich and Urias and Garcia to, complement that staff and win this series. But in terms of being contenders for a World Series, I think that's dead. I think this is a one-and-done roster. I don't think the Brewers have the bats to hang with the Dodgers and the Giants. So, but, for Brewers fans, that's not the worst thing, getting a first-round series win. But I think that's the cap for this team.
Well, you know what? I think watching the Red Sox versus the Yankees, you see firsthand that October changes everything. I mean, Xander Bogaerts was not playing his best baseball at all, and then he goes in and he hits a 2-run homer early in the game against Garrett Cole. So I'm expecting a reverberation. It won't be like how they finished, especially because they were really emphasizing trying to get their team healthy. This is a Brewers team that it took a franchise record 61 players to actually finish out the season because of injuries, because of other COVID issues and things like that. They really had to just scrap and find ways to win. And so I think now with a healthy team, a healthy lineup, minus Devin Williams, this is a Brewers team that's going to continue to be hot and should be taken seriously and teams need to be worried about.
You talk about kind of hitting the refresh button or wiping the slate clean now that it is the postseason. Christian Yelich did not have a good regular season. He has not looked the same since fracturing his kneecap in 2019. That Brewers offense, while middle of the pack, maybe even below average during the regular season in comparison to the rest of the MLB, led by Garcia, Urias, Adames, not normal names that you might hear from the Brewers clubhouse like Yelich or Kane. Obviously, you talk about the pitching. The pitching is where it needs to be, and you need good pitching in October in the postseason. Brewers definitely have that. I mean, they're top 5 in the league in terms of strikeouts, batting average against, quality starts, ERA, WHIP. You've got 3 all-star starters that you're talking about: Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta. So we know that it's there.
And talking about that pitching, I think the Braves, just talking about, again, this first playoff series. The Braves are going to have some tough decisions to make. Game 4 comes around, if Game 5 exists, about who they're going to trot out there for a starter. Do you want Charlie Morton to go out there and, less than, his typical rest? Or do you trust, your 4th or 5th man in the rotation to win a must-win game? So I think, the Brewers are much more better positioned than the Braves in terms of who they're going to try out there to start games and go deep into ball games here for this series.
The loss of Devin Williams, Josh Hader, he hasn't given up a run in like 21 straight appearances.
I mean, Josh Hader continues to show why people always have to drink that Haterade. I mean, he is a threat when it comes to the 9th inning. And let's be honest, if Yelich can somehow find that October magic that certain great players have, and you see sometimes, it's over. I mean, it's going to be very hard to beat the Brewers, especially if you have to come into Milwaukee and play at American Family Insurance Field. It's going to be really exciting.
I think it will be interesting to determine, how are the Brewers going to perform in this postseason. They had a much better record on the road, believe it or not, than at home this season. So that could play in. Definitely if they get to the CS, they're probably not going to be the home team. It could actually be to their advantage. Same thing, too, if they were to reach the World Series. But, Scott, I kind of have to agree with you. I don't envision this Brewers team making it. Well, they may be able to make it to the World Series. I don't see them winning the World Series. I don't see Milwaukee getting an NBA title and an MLB title.
Hey, you know what? Don't doubt the Milwaukee magic. It's in the air. You can feel it. I mean, it's not just in Green Bay anymore. It's come down south on 43, and the magic is here in Milwaukee, and I think it's going to stay at least until the end of October.
Well, the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo has some ownership stake now, so he can pass on his wisdom from having won the NBA Finals, and maybe that will rub off on the Brew Crew, and who knows, maybe they will have some magic here in October, and we'll be interested to see what happens as the series kicks off against the Braves on Friday at American Family Field. But that will do it for our MLB postseason preview. For Scott Procter and Matt Morris, I'm Mike Cianciolo. Thank you for watching Chalk Talk, and we'll see you again soon.